Welcome back. It is Tuesday, September 26th, and the MLB. Our three favorite picks are on the way. It's Austin, joined by Logan today, joined by a special guest. Get it out. The Brooms are here. A 2-0 day, both plus money. Let's talk about it. Now, normally we don't bring out the Brooms for a 2-0 day, but the fact that Astros minus a half in the first five was plus 145, a sweat-free cash. Well, we had to bring out the Brooms, and we went 3-0 in the NFL too. Logan, your pick was awesome, but wasn't as sweat-free as mine. We had Sean, Neal, and Bogart's hit parlay. They both got it done in the first inning. You had to wait 5 for your winner. I got to go easy in that first inning. Like, it was a great day overall. Let's keep building up those units. We're almost at that 33-unit mark. Let's try to have a hot streak to end the MLB regular season. We're still going to do postseason videos, but we're going to dial back the plays because obviously not as many games. We have a full loaded slate today. Let's dive into our three favorite picks of the day. If you are new, my name's Austin. Hit that subscribe button. Drop a like down below too. I think we just passed 174,000 subscribers. Let's get to 175 today. So we appreciate all you guys' love and support. But Logan, you got two picks. I'm gonna let you lead it off. You're gonna go back to a pick you just talked about yesterday. Where are you going though?
Yeah, I'm going to the big series versus with the Mariners and Astros. Playoff spot on the line. I'm taking the Mariners minus a half in the first five innings in this one. Minus 105 odds on BetMGM, currently your best value. Now, I'm reversing what I did yesterday. Yesterday, I was like, wow, Luis Castillo is so mispriced. We're getting Astros at plus 145. Yeah, I'll take this all day long. To me, in this one, we're going to see a reverse of the outcome. And again, I just want to remind people the first five result is the same as the first five run line. So if you want to, sometimes there is a difference on the books like FanDuel. FanDuel will have a different odds on first five run line and result. So always do check that. But the books don't have a lot of faith in Christian Javier tonight, and neither do I. I think George Kirby will prove to be the better pitcher tonight, and his offense will have his back. Like they did not have Luis Castillo's back yesterday. Let's talk about George Kirby starting for the Mariners. 3.1 ERA and a .91 whip at home. George Kirby's been a really good pitcher at home. That's exactly where we're backing him today. The fact that he's got the sub-1 whip is just the type of pitcher he is. And last time he faced Houston, Kirby went 6 2/3 innings pitched, only allowed 1 earned run with 3 strikeouts. I mean, that's kind of an anomaly. The fact that he only had 3 Ks in that one, he gave up 6 hits in that outing, and he still showed the ability when the strikeouts weren't working to still keep the runs off the board. That is huge for a pitcher like Kirby because that's what we need. We need that runner in scoring position, him to be able to strand the runner in scoring position because the Astros offense is really good. We know they're going to have runners on base. It's up to Kirby to get out of those jams, and I think that's what he does today. In 58 plate appearances, the Astros are only hitting 167 against Kirby with a 24% K rate. So you do like to see that. Again, George Kirby should have success today. Houston got the timely hitting last night against Castillo, but they're still only hitting 228 in their last 3 games. Let's not get it twisted. They're not the red hot scorching Astros that I refuse to fade right now. They're not that hot, and they just had a good matchup versus Castillo last night, which is why I backed them, because I don't think Luis Castillo is all that good, and he cannot handle primetime moments. George Kirby will have our back today. He's a strike thrower. He doesn't walk a whole lot of batters, and both of those are key versus Astros. In that 0-2 count, can you get that third pitch for a strike and sit the batter down? I think George Kirby gets it done for us today. Now, who's starting for the Astros today? It's Christian Javier. 5.4 ERA and a 1.34 whip on the road. Christian Javier has not been good on the road at all. I mean, the numbers say so as well. You look at the books. The books agree with me. They don't think he's in line for a great outing. The fact that his outs line is only set to 14.5, obviously like minus 190 juice on the over. His record to win is set to plus 300, which again, you know the criteria to win. And the earned runs is set to 2.5 with minus 150 juice on the over. All of those are like the most obvious breadcrumbs that the books do not expect a good Christian Javier game. And let's think about the full game as well. You're getting plus like 125 a full game money line on the Astros after they were just plus value last night and won easily. Yeah, I mean, I don't think the books are going to misprice the Astros twice in a row like that. I think they're pretty much all but saying Christian Javier should get touched up in this one. Last time he faced the Mariners, he went 7 innings pitched, only allowed 3 earned runs. So it's a pretty solid showing for Christian Javier. But in 2 out of Javier's last 3 road starts, he allowed 4 earned runs. And this is kind of something I noticed when looking at his game log. the Astros really try to hide Christian Javier from pitching on the road. It's just what they do. He doesn't have a ton of road starts because they know he struggles on the road a lot. And Christian Javier is one of those pitchers that when he's struggling to find the zone, he's walking people, he's putting on free base runners. And the fact that Seattle's only hitting 222 in their last 3 games is concerning. I won't lie to you there. But this is a do or die spot for the Mariners. They had base runners last night against Verlander, but again, the ground into double play did not help. Julio Rodriguez had bases loaded, grounded into the double play. I just kind of laughed. I said, well, that's what they do. But on the off chance that they do get the timely hitting tonight against Javier, which I do think they are due. Statistically, they are due to get those timely hits. I think it comes against Javier today, and I think they'll be leading by 1 or more through 5. Do or die time, Mariners. What do you got for us? But I do think that one cashes. Austin, you got a first 5 pick as well. Where are you going?
Yeah, Logan, I love the pick. I'm wearing my Yordan Alvarez shirt for you, but I don't think he's doing anything tonight. He never does anything when I wear his shirt. So I will help you out there. Hopefully the other 8 hitters for the Astros don't do anything either. But I'm going to go to a different game, one that, is a big game for one team. Another team doesn't care anything about this game. It's going to be the Nationals and Orioles game. Taking the under 4.5 in the first 5 innings, which is currently minus 120 on BetMGM. Now, FanDuel, if you are on FanDuel, you're like, where is it? If you're maybe looking at right as the video gets posted, they don't have a first 5 line. Don't know why. They'll have one eventually. Probably maybe even by the time the video is live. This is a 6:35 start time, so plenty of time to get this in. But when I look at the full game, we're looking at a full game total set at 7.5. The Orioles are about minus 110 on the minus 1.5 run line. And I already know everyone's going to be on the Orioles because this is one team that actually needs to win here. They're still trying to lock up that division, the AL East, as the Rays are, 2.5 games behind them. But still, I like Josiah Gray. I think if the Nats have any chance of covering the plus 1.5, I think they need Josiah Gray to pitch pretty well today because that Nationals bullpen is disgusting. But let's talk about Josiah Gray, who I think is actually in line for a pretty decent start. You look at him on the road this year, 3.06 ERA, a 1.33 whip, and a 237 batting average allowed. You look at home, I'll put his stats up there, 5.49 ERA, 1.7 whip, and a 276 batting average allowed. We've talked about Josiah Gray before. You don't want to back him when he's at home. I don't know why it is that way, but either way, when he's on the road, where he is today in Baltimore and Camden Yards, he's pitched pretty well, and I'm expecting him to do that once again today. You look at actually his home runs, just looking at just the home runs. He's allowed 10 home runs in 94 innings pitched on the road this season. Look at home, 11 more home runs in 59 innings pitched. So the fact he's given up one more home run at home in 35 less innings, I don't know what's going on with him at home. I'm not worried about that because he's on the road today against Baltimore, but he's actually already pitched once against Baltimore, and that was at home. He went 5 innings pitched, allowed 4 hits, did walk 4 batters, but only 1 earned run. In that start, Baltimore, 294 batting average against him, but only a 202 expected batting average. Look, I didn't go back and watch the game, but the books were saying, hey, some of these hits were a little bit lucky for the Orioles team, and that was back in April, sure, but they still have largely the same kind of cast. They called up a lot of younger guys who obviously didn't see Josiah Gray in April, but a lot of the main guys in that lineup like Adley, Santander, you got Gunnar Henderson, all those guys were there in that start, but we still saw him pitch well. And over the last 2 weeks, Baltimore, 23rd in batting average, 222, and only 28th in walk percentage, 4.8% versus righties at home. So it's a team not hitting righties too well. They're not walking a ton, which honestly is what Josiah Gray does. He sometimes throws non-competitive pitches. So I think that we're looking at a guy like Josiah Gray. If he can limit the walks today, where he's 11th percentile walk percentage, and Baltimore's just not hitting well, I think we got a good chance here today. Like I said, he's limited those home runs, and hitting a home run into left field at Oriole Park, very hard to do. Anyone in the left field or into right field, a little bit easier. But like I said, Josiah Gray been limiting those home runs. So I think Josiah Gray gives us a chance here. Now on the other side will be Kyle Bradish, and maybe Josiah Gray struggles, gives up 4 earned runs. Bradish still has the potential to go up and just put up 0 on the scoreboard for 5 innings. We've seen him look really well. 2.57 ERA and a 1 whip and a 213 batting average allowed at home this season. Look, the guy's been a stud at home. His road stats still very good. In April, he threw 6 shutout innings versus the Nationals. And the Nationals are a team normally, if we ever see us back them, if we're looking for an underdog spot, the Nationals are normally one of those spots because the Nationals, we actually don't hate their offense. There's a lot of these just terrible teams like the Athletics that you just don't want to back them because their offense just does not show up consistently. Normally the Nationals have a decent offense, but I don't trust them on the road here. And you look at Kyle Bradish coming off a great start, 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, 0 earned runs on the road versus Houston. His whip's been below 1 in all of August. It's like at 0.88 in October. He's just been really good at limiting those base runners, and he doesn't walk guys. So this is the Nationals team over the last 2 weeks. They're hit 24th in batting average at 0.186 and 22nd in walk percentage at 7.7% versus right-handed pitchers on the road. So they're getting a higher than average walk, or, their walks aren't as high, but you look at Bradish, he's 80th percentile walk percentage, but they're not getting those hits. And in my opinion, this is a Nats team that needs hits. This is a team that doesn't have a lot of power on their team, doesn't hit a lot of home runs. If they have any high home run guys, it's probably Lane Thomas, and he's going to be, having to hit it into left field, which is hard to do in Baltimore. So at the end of the day, I really do think Bradish comes out here, pitches pretty well. He's obviously been really dialed in. You also look at the weather is on our side too, minus 23% home runs, minus 8% runs in Baltimore. I think Bradish and Gray, it's a pitching duel. Maybe there's some runs that come in the extra, and in the after those guys come out. Well, because look, Gray and the Nats bullpen is not great. Orioles bullpen hasn't been really great recently with the Mountain Time, Mr. Bautista out for the last couple weeks, but end of the day, I think this is a slower starting game. We've seen that happen with the Orioles before they turn it on, the 6th, 7th, and 8th inning, and they drop a 5 spot on your head. I really do like Josiah Gray today. I think Kyle Bradish pitches well. I'm going to take the under 4.5 first 5. I'm not touching full game solely because I do not want to touch any bit of that Nationals bullpen. If we see the Nats bullpen in the first 5, well, we're probably already chalked by then because that means Josiah Gray really struggled. But I really like it here. Nats, Orioles, under 4.5 first 5, my favorite pick of the day. But Logan, you got a second pick, or it's going to be an over. You're going to a late night game. Which one's it going to be?
Yeah, both of my games I realized are really late on the East Coast, so I'm going to love staying up for that. We're going to the Padres versus Giants game, and I'm taking the over 8.5 runs, minus 105 odds on DraftKings, currently your best value. Yeah, I'm taking an over, right? And that, yay, everybody, Logan's not taking an under, and we get to criticize him for taking an under. But I am on the over in this one. And look at the final score yesterday, 2-1. I mean, the odds definitely suggested we were getting a pitcher's duel. That's what we got yesterday. Today, the line is set to 8.5, which indicates a lot of offense is coming our way, and that's kind of what I like. I like a really dramatically low-scoring game, and I like the line being bumped up and then taking an over. It's kind of my favorite thing to do with baseball. Look at who's starting for the Giants today. It's Kyle Harrison, 3.52 ERA and a 1.3 WHIP at home. Harrison just faced the Padres early in September. Only went 5 2/3 innings pitched, 6 earned runs. I love for the Padres to bring the bats like that once again. You look over the last 2 weeks, the Padres hitting 396 with a 213 WRC plus versus lefties, both #1 in baseball. So this team is absolutely smoking left-handed pitching as of late. They are also having only a 14.8 K percentage during that time span versus lefties, which is third lowest. And that's what I always struggle with the Padres. I've seen them swing so many times at non-competitive pitches in the dirt. But the fact that they've been so good versus lefties gives me hope and optimism that they will be able to hit Kyle Harrison today. Even though they've been disappointing for much of this year, they're still very capable of bringing the bats, and I trust them to hit the rookie pitcher, Kyle Harrison. I just think this sets up to be a pretty poor matchup versus him, and the Padres should get some hits and runs up on him. And I also think the Giants are going to get hits and runs up on Seth Lugo, starting for the Padres, 3.91 ERA and a 1.24 WHIP on the road. Okay numbers for Seth Lugo. He's just a steady Eddie guy. He's a 2 to 3 earned run type pitcher, and to cash this over, that's all kind of what we need. We need those like 2 to 3 runs coming from him. Last time Lugo faced the Giants, he went 6 innings, pitched 0 earned runs, only 4 strikeouts in that one. Strikeouts aren't really the name of the game for Seth Lugo. The fact that he did have a good starting versus them kind of just is like the only way is up from here, Giants, right? He threw the shutout against you. Any run production this time around is more than you got last time. San Francisco hitting 245 at home this season. Why do I bring that up? Because the fact that they're only hitting 179 in their last 3 games means just the positive regression is on the horizon. I mean, they're not going to hit sub 200 to close out the rest of the season. If they do, well, that's just poverty, and I don't know what else to tell you. But the fact that they are hitting roughly around 250 at home gives me optimism that they should be able to hit Seth Lugo. If you look at Lugo's game log, he's given up 4 home runs in his last 3 starts. This time around, San Francisco, you need to be able to capitalize off of his mistakes. When he misses locations, you can put him in the bleachers. That's pretty easy for the San Francisco lineup to do. They have the power and they have the capability. And then let's talk about bullpens. Over the last 10 games, Padres bullpen, 2.57 ERA, second lowest. They have a really good bullpen. It's going to be tough to get some runs there. But the Giants, 5.12 ERA, 8th highest bullpen ERA. Talked about it before. I've pretty much talked about it all year long. When you have the total set to 8.5, which is like the new norm for these totals nowadays, what you need to cash it is 4 runs on each side. A 4-4 tie cashes this over because, obviously they can't end at 8 runs. So the 9th run will come. And like I said, I think each of these starting pitchers is due at least 2 to 3 earned runs. And then the question is, can you get 2 to 3 runs in the bullpen? I definitely think so. The blueprint is there. The over is the clear way to go in that one.
Yeah, no, I love the pick, Logan. I think it's a really good one. Coming off a low-scoring game, Logan Webb just went nine innings against this Padres team. But facing the lefty, hopefully they bring the bats today. We know the Padres, they're probably going 0 for 15 with runners in scoring position, but that's just what they do. But I really do like that pick. I think it's a good one. We've seen, those games where you see a low-scoring game, then the next game's a very high-scoring game. Hopefully that's the case tonight. But those are our 3 favorite picks of the day. Hopefully tomorrow we see you back again with the broom. But either way, let's have a great, great day. We appreciate guys all your love and support. Awesome, Logan. We're signing out. We'll see you guys back again tomorrow with some more picks. See you then. Peace.